Okay. So, I they want me to talk about the duality between sensuality and sexuality, okay? And I just heard, what's the difference between sensuality and sexuality? What's the difference between sensuality and sexuality? Sensuality can heal the vessel from trauma. It's the type of pleasure and the level of ecstasy that you can feel from these two experiences. I feel like with sensuality, there's a lot of healing that comes from your sensual nature, which is awakened by your spirit experiencing your physicality, your physical nature, right? Your spirit enjoying. It starts to heal a lot of some of the trauma and some of the suppression I'm hearing that we've had to do while in this physical being, just to not offend others. Or yeah, a lot of people are not fully embodied, and I feel like at a very young age we learn to suppress the fullness of our being in order to continue to exist here. But I'm hearing like sensuality allows you to expand. The desire to be aroused this way comes from a place of, it's like heart based. It's more for the self, but also for the healing of others, right? So if you're participating in it with others, desire to take care of one another. There's this desire to remind each other of our own innate natures and to bring each other back home to our most divine selves, okay? It came up like very dualistic, but almost like the same. Like it almost feels like you can't tell the difference unless you're actually looking for the difference. Otherwise, you can mistake them for the same thing, okay? And I don't feel like this is meant to shame sexuality, because I feel like sexuality is the definition I would put on what the world's today, what the world uses our sensual nature or physicality, our desire to be intimate with one another. I feel like this world has turned sensuality into sexuality in order to fulfill. I'm hearing a primal disease. Oh no, spirit. They said a primal disease that has taken over the collective. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. But like with sexuality, because okay, this says harmony for sensuality, right? In my last video we talked about this, where it's like, what is the point of sensuality? And it's to bring you back into oneness, baby. It's to like remind you like this physicality, this was meant to experience the fullness of yourself, okay? That's sensuality. And sexuality seems like a conquest, okay? It's again how I was saying with the duality. It feels like who can who can rule this part of the physical being? Like, am I going to give from this nurturing feminine place, or am I going to give from this primal like action based masculine place, right? It from first of all within, right? But then harmony, right? To experience sensuality with another being is to experience harmony with that person's soul, okay? So your soul in fullness and their soul in fullness, even if not in fullness, is to experience them and experience each other's souls, right? Because when you get sexually entangled with someone, you are attaching to their soul, okay? You are creating soul ties when you connect with someone in this way, right? And I feel like if you guys are matching with the same intention for the same purpose, especially if you're in this place of oneness, but if there are some pieces that need to be healed within the self, right? I feel like if you guys come with the right intention, you guys can find and really like because it'll reflect back to you. I feel like once you connect souls, it's almost like the person will either mirror back to you things that need to be worked on, or will call you out on the things, or will reflect the beauty in you that you have yet to see or fully become yet. Okay, so that's that harmony part of the sensual nature. When sensual is the spirit and the body working together, if them two are coming into union with another together who's also in this energy, there's harmony created, there is healing created, right? It's like it's almost like what ties you to each other, and there's harmony. When it's sexuality, it's a conquest. It feels like there's a lot of egos, there's a lot of like wanting to feel like you're enough, wanting to feel validated, wanting to feel seen, wanting to feel like this person wants you, or that you showing the person that you're worth wanting, you know, or that you want them so much that you can provide a service to them that'll make them keep coming back. Like, it's almost feeling like it's almost feeling like with conquest, it's feeling like also like someone might see the divinity and the beauty that's in you, and their desire is to, not even in you sometimes, like I said with the first one, it's the packaging, it's what you look like, is they just want to touch it, they just want to get primal, get physical with you, right? Sometimes they don't even care what's on the inside. That's sex, because it's so physical. It like, and then there's like the pleasure centers that, like, you know, come with it, like being intimate in that way. We forget it's intimate, it's close. So people want to have sex and not get close, not want to create true relationship with people. And I'm like, but you entered them in the most, and you got the most intimate that we could possibly get with another being. Like, that's the most intimate thing we can do as beings, is to have sex with another person. And I feel like people forget that and think, nah, it's just me getting mine, or touching them, or using them for my pleasure, or giving them, feeling worthy, feeling like I have something to offer them, and then seeing that they're satisfied with me gives me some type of validation. It's all ego based. It's not real connection. Okay, I feel like that's the difference between sensuality and sexuality, and it really is the difference between there's this, like, with this fidelity, it's for both. It almost feels like I have a piece of you now. She's like, I have to show you this card. Fidelity. Can you see? She's like, like, I have a piece of you now. And he's just like, thanks. And he's like leaving. And it's almost like, and you took a piece of me. Like, people don't realize that's what happens when we have intimacy with another person. I'm not even going to call it sex, because sex feels so primal. And I'm like, the point of sensuality was to get wholeness. How can I be whole from constantly giving people pieces of myself, and I'm constantly left with pieces of them? I'm getting so confused now on who I am, because there's so much other things going on within me. Oh, there's so many other people within me, and there's so many other people that have a piece of me. How can I experience the fullness of myself and fully, like, what I came here to do? Like, how can I love and be myself? How can I ever expect the person that I find that I'm in love with, or whatever, just have the best life I possibly can? How can I expect that to be possible when I've exchanged souls with so many people? I'm hearing it's tiresome. The souls are tired, but it's not even. It's the physical vessels, and it's what we see with these 3D eyes, and what we see and how we interpret what we're consuming. It's a lot of consumerism, is what I'm hearing. A lot of toxic consumerism. This agenda that's been pushed almost to separate us from the soul. You incarnate, and it's literally like, they know what this game is. They understand. And they're just like, no, we don't want y'all walking around as fully embodied beings. We don't want that. We don't need that, because then we can't manipulate you. We need you to be fragmented so that you're desperate to keep looking outside of yourself for validation and for reassurance and for, like, understanding and, like, fulfillment outside of yourself, right? They need you to constantly keep never being able to fully understand what is, who are you and why you're even here, right? And the way that they do that is push the sexual agenda. Sexual agenda is what I just heard, literally. It's an agenda. Sex is beautiful. Intimacy with another person is beautiful. Damn, we gotta need a new word for sex, because that shit, it's a little toxic. Like, the way it's been, it's a little toxic. It's depriving the soul of its own embodiment, right? The soul's not able to experience that. And the soul really wants to, but it feels so fragmented. It feels so used. It feels so useless when you do it for the primal physicality of it. But if you want to connect with another person's soul, well, that's another story. The soul's like, let me show you something. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what happens when two souls really connect. Let me take you to the next level, okay? That's what I'm hearing this, like, the higher self, the soul say. Let me take you to the next level. Let me show you. Let me show you what that body do. She said, let me show you what this body can do when I'm in charge. Okay, period. I'm so excited for this. I love this. Cause there's a difference. And I feel like a lot of us have not known this difference or experienced this difference yet. And she said, we about to. Those of you who are here, we are about to. We coming into oneness. We coming into wholeness. We coming into fullness. And it's not just about sex. It's about life itself. It's just everything and that you experience in this life is going to be from this fully embodied, present nature. And you're going to, that's nothing. Before you connect with anyone intimately, friendship, relationship, sexually, you're going to see them because you are your embodiment of it, right? So your soul can clearly see you like, they're missing something. And it's not something that I could feel for them. It's something that I could help them, heal them. They're not open. They don't even realize they're blind. They're not searching. They're satisfied with the minimal version of themselves that they're experiencing. That seems to be enough for them. And I'm not going to take away from me. I'm not going to let you take my essence, my juice, my delectable, creamy goodness. Okay. I am the whole treat. I'm not going to let you get a piece of the pie unless you're seeking. Oh, she said seeking validation. If you're seeking wholeness, I can teach you. Ooh, I can teach you through my lessons. I can teach you through my presence. Experiencing me will remind you and wake you the fuck up. That's on period. That's on period. I love it. I love it. The difference between sexuality and sensuality. Romanticism and dreams. It almost feels like an illusion. Like, it feels like we have the concept of what this thing that we've called sex, that's supposed to be intimacy and sensuality. We have the concept and idea because we remember it at a soul level. We remember, or we've even experienced it or seen the power of how sex can like really just awaken this, like this otherworldly, this out of body, right? We're not just the physical, because when you have sex, you can almost come out of your body and experience this divine, like, oh, the soul, the piece of your soul a little bit. It almost takes you out. And we've romanticized it as, if you can get me there, if you can get me that, if you can bring me to the brink, or, oh, I'm so turned on by you, it's awakening something in me. This must be, It's an illusion. It's an illusion. You're dreaming. You're making this up. And it's not your fault, but we've seriously romanticized being physically attracted to someone, or someone being able to pleasure our bodies, or the pleasure we can bring ourselves, like this pleasure, this physical pleasure we can experience. We romanticized this and almost created this illusion, this fantasy of, this is as good as it gets, right? This is the best it can get because my body is satisfied, but there's like this emptiness that keeps reoccurring that like I think a lot of us are like not realizing because we've always felt that way, right? So if connecting with ourselves or connecting with another person can like reawaken this a little bit or like get you to tap into it just a little bit, it's almost like, ah, that's the point. So I can get glimpses of it. And it's like, nah, 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 nah. Once you're aware of your own divine nature, your own sensual desires and pleasure, like the part of you that like always feels this way, like this inner, I was talking about this in the first reading, that passion, like this fire that is you. Once you become aware of it, oh my god, this kundalini awakening. Okay, I gotta show you what I'm talking about. Once you become, it says awareness. Once you become aware of yourself, you like, I'm seeing people like watching you. Look at the guy, how the guy's like looking at her, like, and it's almost like, bro, she seems so aware of herself that now it's ignited this passion that she is now embodying, right? It almost feels like, it looks like he's taking a picture of her in such a pervy way. It's so gross. And it's like, she's not even aware of them because she like fully like is experiencing this like, ugh, like it's like so much fire from within, and then it's like radiating around you, that now it's like I'm fully like what I was seeking from sex, I'm getting from just existing as myself. Sex was bringing me to that point, like I was touching it, and then it's like it's almost now it's one with you. And how beautiful would it be to experience another person who's like, nah, I am my soul, I've tamed the body from feeling like it needs to control the situation to working with the body. Now there's like this dualistic nature now where it's like the body feels pleasure and the soul's able to, or the soul's able to give and then the body's able to experience. Like there's like this interchangeableness that happens just in the self, but then through experiencing another fully embodied person, oh, the passion's crazy. Two aware people, two aware, awake, woke people, two people who are like, nah, I'm here. Like you see, you can tell in my eyes, like, nah, my soul's in here. Like I'm not playing around. I'm not asleep. I'm not an illusion anymore. Like I experience more of myself every single day. I'm no longer living for other people's validation, and I'm no longer living in other people's matrix, other people's desires, other people's stories of who I am and how I'm supposed to live, which is allowing me to experience every part of my life for me, with me, because of me, and for the pleasure of me, okay? And then the way these two people come together is almost, it's magnetic, but also explosive. Like it's not just a service that they're doing to one another or for one another. It's definitely giving like, it's giving next level ascension, okay? If two people that are fully embodied can come together and really expand one another's like consciousness through sensual, intimate connection, it's expansive. It's expansive. There's no more suppressing, if that makes sense. It's very I'm hearing it's a new culture, it's a new way of being, it's a new way of just like I feel like we have not fully experienced this yet here on earth, like the way we're supposed to, and we've all gotten glimpses of it, but damn it, if it ain't about time, like there's too much need for like, I need you to fulfill me, I need to fulfill you, I need to get something for me, I'm missing something, help me, give me, I can, oh, like it's too performative. And this one feels like I'm experiencing you and me at the same time. That's sensuality. That's true intimacy. Okay? I don't even want to linger on that sexual energy because it feels like we all understand that already. We've all been experiencing that already. It almost feels like I don't need to put too much emphasis on what that is. If you understand intimacy, you almost look back at sexuality like, so why was I doing that? It's the agenda. They're saying it's the agenda. It's meant to keep you separate from not just yourself but others. Because if you really were to connect with someone, not just yourself, but there's this thing where we can reawaken each other as well, especially if we start to see this divinity and this beauty and this aliveness in that person. You see yourself and you're almost like, oh my God, that's what's missing. And then you start to put the pieces back together yourself. They don't want that. Yeah, we're not going to get into that, but you know who they is. They don't want that for us. They don't. We're too powerful like that. But that's what came here. That's what Earth was meant for. That's what we were here to do. That is Gaia's intention for all beings, is to experience ourselves that way and experience each other that way. Okay, that's why we've separated into these different incarnations of ourselves as well. Like, you're meant, like, we are all one and the same when it comes back to the energy and the source of where we all come from, right? But the source wanted to experience itself in different facets, and the beauty of the physicality of this earth is that we get to experience the oneness of yourself and the oneness of themselves, and when we come together, we come into oneness again, like remember almost the divinity and the wholeness of how we are all one and the same. It's so beautiful, and it's like this coming together of, I'm feeling like soul family, but also we're all of one soul. We all come from the one true divine source of existence, of life, of energy, of love, of light, of beauty. Like, it is all the same. It is all the same beautiful essence, split into many different versions of itself. And through this oneness of the self, not only do you experience what that means to come back home to oneness, but through experiencing two, I'm hearing whole and complete beings, or beings that are on the journey and the journey back home to oneness. For two people who are on the journey back home to oneness to come in together in sacred divine union, okay, in sacred connection, they can really like remind each other through experiencing each other. I'm you and you are me, and both parts of myself are part of me, and there's a duality in my, why am I separating these parts of myself? Why am I separating me and you? Why am I seeing you as different and comparing, when through experiencing us, I've come back home. I've experienced the delight and the pleasure of being back in union with the divine source, okay? That's true intimacy, and that's true sensuality. And if you're not experiencing that, you need to separate yourself from anything that's keeping you away from it, and first come back home to yourself. That's it. That's on period. That's it. That's it. Sexuality, I'm seeing surrendering. And then 11, I feel like there's trust, right? But I feel like when it comes to sensuality, there is this need to surrender back to the self. Surrender to the journey, surrender to the process of coming back home to the self. And once you come back home to the self, you realize you can trust yourself, the divine will, and you can, I feel like the soul learns to trust the body because it took the time to find it. It took the time to find itself. It took the time to reintegrate the parts of the self that it fragmented throughout this journey, right? When you really take the time to do this and surrender to the process, when you come back into this sacred union with the self, it's almost like there's this undeniable trust because you realize what the intention was all along, but you also know that you can trust each other to always find yourself again, okay? And I feel like when you surrender parts of yourself to other people's will or other people's desire, or you give up parts of your power to the old way of existence, the sexual primal nature, when you surrender to the body's needs, you're leaving behind the soul's needs. When you surrender to, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like, take care of your body. Don't give in to your body's urges all the time unless you feel this oneness and completeness coming from the soul as well. If it's just primal, if it's just physical, and it feels like there's resistance or it feels like it's causing upheaval, okay, there's this wrath card. There's this wrath. Why? It feels like, yeah, you see this is on the outside and this is on the inside. It feels like, oh, there's two. There's two on the inside. Feminine, masculine, and then there's this one on the... If the wholeness of the self, right? If the wholeness of the self is not fully present and participating in these experiences, there's this upheaval that happens in the spirit. There's this upheaval that happens within the self. There's this, because the higher self, the soul knows I'm about to lose something that I already had, or that it took me a while to get back, or for me to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like once you get this, do not surrender or give out parts of yourself again without feeling like, I can trust that this person, or the wrath within them. Yeah, there's like, I'm surrendering my wholeness and I'm taking a chance by giving myself to you. And in doing so, I'm allowing whatever's attached to you, whatever incompleteness that's in you, whatever, to also become one with me, right? Whatever that you're seeking, I will now start to mirror back to you, which means I will start to feel this. Well, whatever is missing from me or missing from you, we are now exchanging this, right? And in order to surrender that, we have to know that we can trust that that person is going to continue along that journey with us through discovery, and not just leave you with their shadows, not just leave you with their trauma, and not just take the gifts and the beauty that's within you, or take your trauma. Don't do that to another person. Don't put your shit on them. And don't take somebody else's unless you can go through because it's a soul tie, it's a soul connection. Unless you guys are willing to go through the ebb and flow of coming back into oneness, because now that you've connected with that soul, you are now coming into oneness with their soul. And this is, like I said, the oneness that comes the reminder of the divinity in the self, right? So you cannot just connect and then separate, because you're now that pieces of you that you had are floating away. Your trauma and your light. And with them, same. Now you have part of their trauma and light. And they're just like out here just floating around, lost without each other. Like, if you're doing this, it has to come from a place of, at least I will see this through until we have come to this point of whatever we were meant to learn from each other or grow from within each other, whatever tools we both had to offer each other, whatever reflections we were meant to embody for each other, or that we've agreed, sacred agreement to participate in with one another, with each other, beyond just the physicality of it. But I want to heal your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual. I want to remind you of all the capabilities that you have within you, but also nurture what is already within you and not take from it, okay? Not suppress it and not take from it, unless that is the full agreement between these two souls, and you will know it. If you're not consciously, which you should definitely be talking about this with the person before you get intimate with them, but if you're not consciously fully like delved into all these topics, your spirit and your higher self and their higher self would have had this conversation already. There will be this point where It's not that they don't want to, but sometimes I've had this moment where the higher self's like, I've spoken to other people's higher selves before where they were literally like, man, I'm trying to get through to my vessel, but the vessel's doing what it wants, right? That's when your higher self will come back to you and be like, because the vessel's in control. And the vessel's not listening to the spirit, which means the vessel will do what it wants, get what it wants from you, and take off. Or always consistently try to suppress your beautiful soul and light and fullness in order to match its energy. Or its vessel will be like, come on, come back to the vessel. Why are you acting all high and mighty and spiritual and like you got all the tools? Because I do, and you do too. You're just not working through them. You're not listening. You're not listening to your higher self. You're not allowing your higher self to be one with you. There's so much more beauty that's within all of us if you allow it. And to come in contact with someone who's not, your spirit, your higher self there will be red flags. There will be signs. There will be alarms going off within you, around you. The person will start acting out of character. The higher self will be like, I'm going to show you what I mean. And the person will like act out of character and you'll just dismiss it. It's like, oh, everybody got their flaws. You just want to get hurt. You just want to get left behind. You just want to get like crippled in the spirit. Like you're literally crippling yourself. It's ridiculous. It's sickening and it's sad how we have been conditioned to take and manipulate the gift of this beauty of our lives, of our physicality, of our bodies, of sex, of what it's meant to be, and have manipulated into this disgusting, pervasive, like harmful to ourselves. Like it's so crazy, and we don't even realize we're doing that because it is beautiful. It can be so magical and amazing. And if you're lucky enough, the person that helps you heal this could be the person you're with for the rest of your lives. Now, I'm not telling everybody they gotta be in sacred union and whatever. That's not my place to say that, because sometimes you can meet people for a phase in your life. Sometimes people are meant to be here for a purpose, for a phase in your life. And I don't feel like there's a need to hold yourself back fully if you decide to be intimate, but there has to be this sacred agreement between the souls that has to take place. There has to be this union. I'm seeing like the soul union, okay, of the aspects of the self that really are like, I'm willing, you're willing, the vessels are willing, we understand what can come out of this, and we understand we can both provide for each other. And through that process, you're either going to come into full oneness with this person, or you're going to, I'm like seeing a completion of a contract almost. It's almost like you filled in the piece you need to fill in, and I did the same for you, right? We were open, we were willing, we were accepting of it all. But there will be this natural separation of these two souls, because there will be like, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to get more that I could not get from this specific connection, because you just, no matter how whole you are not able to provide, because this is a part of me that's out there missing, that needs to come home. And whether it's from being single or from being in another union that really teaches you more about who you are, it's meant to bring you home. And if there's a limit and there's a cap on it, then sometimes it'll be called for you to separate, not out of I feel like the souls understand what it is here, what it is that they're meant to do here. And I feel like the vessel's trying to hold on to things that were meant to be a part of the journey, and temporarily. Because again, we were not meant to stay attached. We are meant to have connection with one another, but we're not meant to stay attached and lock. I'm feeling like this is like lock. I'm seeing like handcuffed. We're not meant to be handcuffed to one another, because the whole point is to allow the soul to grow, to allow the soul to be one fully with itself, right? We're not meant to be locked in with one another. But when two souls have come into this fullness of the self along with each other, there is this like oneness, because we come back home to oneness within ourselves and with each other. There's like this sacred union that takes place, and that is the most beautiful thing. And that it's not a lock. It's a like merging of the souls that takes place, okay? It's not like you're mine, I'm yours, and I own you. Again, that's the duality between union, sacred union, and physical attachment, okay? And we need to let go of attachment so that we can allow the growth of the soul, okay? Trying to hold on to someone is almost like reverting back into that thing of the ego, of feeling like I put in so much work here, or you're mine, and this is and I've only given my blah, blah, blah. And it's like you need to let, if the soul says it's time to let go, it's time to let go. Listen to the soul, be one with the soul. It's not leading you to, it might be temporary pain, but it's not leading you to a worse off outcome. It'll always be a better outcome on the other side if you're willing to go with the ebbs and flows of your life and what this life is trying to teach you, okay? Don't get locked into one way of being for yourself, but one type of lifestyle, one type of relationship, friendship, connection. Don't get locked into anything, because the soul is constantly going to be evolving and constantly have different lessons to learn, and things that, like, once it starts to fully become more embodied within the self, its needs change, its desires change, its expression changes, and this might not always be in alignment with the people or the things around you, and sometimes it needs you to move out of the way so that it can flow, okay? I'm feeling like this need to like forgive the self, but also have empathy and compassion for the journey you've been on and what it's taught you and how it's gotten you to this point where you're ready to hear this message, okay? Like, instead of judgment of the self or others, understand the dualistic nature that is taking place right now, and how not everyone and not every being has fully come back home to the self and come into oneness. I'm feeling like you have, and now you're flowing in this like I'm hearing effervescent fullness of self, okay? It feels so magnetic and alive, and I feel like they're asking, like, there's this need for protection because you've healed so much, and yeah, okay, I feel like there's also this message of like protection of from people from the past who feel like they have some type of claim over you, right? Or feel like they still have a piece of you, because I feel like you may not realize it, but you've gotten that piece back by fully accepting it, because the piece was given because you were searching for yourself. While searching within for yourself, you brought that piece home. There are some people who had experienced you that still feel like they have a piece of you, or still feel like you have a piece of them. And I do feel like there's this like, once you accept the journey for what it was, and you accept the experiences for what they were, and you understand what is taking place in the I keep hearing dualistic nature, the dualistic nature of what it used to be and what it's becoming, you completely let go of any attachments you had to anyone, right? And I feel like you fully healed this, and there is like this reciprocal chemistry and passion that is now awakened within you first, but it will be mirrored in your connection second, right? And it's not your job to do this for anyone else. I feel like you're being aligned with people who have already done this for themselves, okay? And there's a need to protect yourself from anyone you may have connected with in an intimate way. Anyway, it could be romantic, it could be friendship, anyone that you've been intimate with, mostly sexual, but any type of intimacy, right? People who really got to know you, who really thought they got to know you, who really think they know you. They don't know you. They never got to know this version of you, and this is the full you. This is the real you, right? There's a sense of like, no, you did the work to heal this. Anyone who thinks they had a connection with you, they don't know. They haven't yet. Anyone who's still in your life, who God and the divine and your higher self is allowing you to still experience while the higher self is fully integrating, that's who's meant to be in your life, and that's who's meant to experience this version of you. And I'm honestly, I hear myself, the higher self, being like, I can't wait so they get to know this version of us. Okay, you haven't even fully experienced this version of you, so anyone else in the past who tries to like, oh, but I know you, or oh, this, that, or claim you, or anything, or be like, but me and you, nah, you don't know me. You didn't know me. I didn't know me. I didn't understand what I was doing. What was it? What's that 7th Street song? Thought I was in love, that was a phase. I was just a rookie trying to play. Like, literally, I don't know you. That was just a phase. I was a rookie trying to play this shit. I was trying to figure out, like, what is this? What are we doing? What is this for? Why do I have a desire to use this to find myself or to experience more pleasure? It's because it's something in you. You are the pleasure that you wish to experience. And now you're going to fully start experiencing that and come across people who also have started experiencing that and who can also help aliven and waken and bring out that more in you, okay? They're going to make you feel more alive, just as you would do the same for them. You are not taking, okay? I'm hearing you're nurturing. There's this protective, you're protecting the sacredness that is within you, and the ones you come across, you'll see the reflection and be just as protective of them. If you see them stepping out of line, if you see them seeing the fault in their star, ooh, the fault in our stars. So I just heard, but if you see them focusing on the fault in their star, you'll help remind them back of their divinity, of their beauty, because you see it. You see it. You know it's there. You see them sometimes embody it and sometimes fall off. The same with, we're all still learning how to do this fully, okay? And I feel like the people that are meant to be in your life are people who are constantly reassuring you that you are enough, but also through their own embodiment of their divine essence is a reflection to you, is a reminder to you to come back into oneness, to come back with yourself, and to always remember, I have everything. Like, if anybody walks away from you, if anyone's not meant to be here anymore, you're going to look in your palm and be like, it's okay, I still have mine. I still have me. I'm still good. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so pretty. Like, it's like, you didn't take from me. I let you experience me. You didn't take from me. And I wasn't seeking anything from you. So I don't have... Even if these are temporary connections, I chose to experience you. I chose to let you experience me. That is all. I'm not seeking anything anymore from you. I'm whole now. I understand that I was always whole. I was always enough. This physical reality was a choice. This was second to my nature, okay? I was me first before I became one with you, okay? There are people who are not going to understand why you are embodying this. They're going to be so attracted to you or so jealous of you, okay? People are not going to understand the sacredness and the beauty. The ones who do will be the ones who stay or who feeds your soul. There are going to be people who are tempted by you, who want to get closer to you because they feel something magnificent in you that they have no interest in finding within themselves, which is sickening. Why do you want what I have if you're not willing to do the work for yourself? Like, that's crazy. And then jealousy, it's like people are going to look at you and be triggered again because they're not willing to do the work. It's almost like they're not willing to conquest feelings. Yeah, they're not willing to dig through the that you dig through. They want to continue to romanticize, to play off this illusion of what that is within you, what that divinity and beauty is within you. Don't let them get in here again. Don't let them fool you. Don't let their projections land on you and stick, you know? Like, remind yourself, like, while they project, it's like, I'm rubber, you're glue, boy. Don't let that shit bounce off me and stick back on you, because you're going to be mad. You're going to be more triggered. You're going to be more. It's going to trigger. I'm hearing it's going to trigger a dark night of the soul. It's going to trigger them into, like, it's going to ricochet and almost like, oh, and the higher soul's going to get hold of them and be like, it's time to work. Like, you tried it. You tried to come after them, or you tried to take from them. And it's almost going to be like, bop. Freedom. Oh, you are so free. You are so protected. You are so safe because you healed. Because you healed. The divine is allowing you to be seen. They want you to be seen in your full, free, harmonized, oneness, healed self. They want you to freely show and express this version of yourself and live this way. To be this trigger for a lot of people. You're going to trigger a lot of feelings in people, a lot of realizations in people, a lot of oh, okay, it's not just bad though. There's some people who literally genuinely want what you have, and not like just like, oh, what you've attained like in the physical. Not just what you've attained in the physical, but the oneness that you've attained. And they might not realize it when they first see it, but as time goes on, yeah, I'm feeling like they move on, and then the waiting period, and then the trials will begin, right? So after they've experienced you, there's like this time where they're like festering over like, what is it about that person? What is it about that I just can't get over? What can I not stop thinking about them? Why can I not stop like feeling like they have something I don't? It's almost like they're left with something, but that thing is something that's meant to, I'm seeing victory and triumph. Yeah, it's meant to like, they feel like they want to conquer it and take it for themselves. And what's going to happen is they can't touch you. They can't have you unless you give it up, and you're not, because you know better now, right? What's going to happen is it's going to trigger them to find it within themselves. If they want what you have, they're going to have to go get it for themselves. And where is that going to start? Within the self. There's this dark night of the soul. Empathy and passion. Yeah. I feel like you're a walking trigger for people, but I feel like I'm hearing like good. I'm hearing that yourself be like good. She's like, I've come across a lot of sickening ass people who need this type of realization so they can stop what they've been doing. It's crazy. It's sickening how corrupted some of us really are. Like, the soul's really starting to believe the fucking illusion at this point. And she's like, it's sickening. I need more people to wake up. I need the soul to remember. I need the vessel to remember. I need all of us to remember why we are here, what we are doing. She's like, it's sickening. But I have so much empathy for all of us having the experience, because I've done it. I've been here several times. I've done this. I'm so glad to be back home, and I wish this for everybody. I wish this for everybody. There's not one being that I don't want to have this. I want everyone to come back to this so that we can all be so much better and live so much better and have such a better experience. If all of us were in oneness, oh, Earth would be amazing. She said, I'm tired of us using the physical to betray ourselves, when the truth is we are supposed to be able to trust one another. We are not something to be conquered. We are something to reawaken, re-embody, and reintegrate, not just with ourselves, but with one another. There is, again, this collective oneness, this wholeness that comes from not just being one with the self, but then continuously finding yourself in each other. Continuously. Right? There needs to be more awakened beings. There needs to be more. We need to surrender and trust this process. If some of us, I feel like we can use this illusion, this romanticism that we've created to find the truth. if we really want to, if we really desire to, okay? And I feel like, oh, that is the soul's truest desire. To cut off this old, yeah, she has like scissors in her hand, freedom, to free itself from the illusion, from the dream, and really actually just be and aware and just exist. Stop dreaming and fantasizing about how beautiful it can be and start being the beauty of what it is. Heal the self and move on from the old paradigm, okay? It's time. It's time, y'all. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. These trials of healing are meant to bring you back into oneness. Let it. Let the things that you are healing right now, let these trials, let these lessons you are learning about yourself and about others, let them bring you back into wholeness and oneness. Not just for this incarnation or this physical incarnation, but for the entire existence and the entire presence of your soul. Do it for you, and do it so that you can remember you and fully and escape the paradoxical matrix that was meant to entrap you. She was like, free yourself by coming back home. Let these trials bring you back into harmony so that you can romanticize your life now from this full understanding of what you truly are and what truly brings you pleasure and joy. Not what you've been conditioned to think it is, but for what truly actually brings you the most fulfilled, beautiful, sensational, pleasurable, exciting, most passionate life, okay? Call back your power. Come back home. Call back. It starts with the self. It really does. It really does. It's this wholeness in self has been missing this whole time. And that's why we've been playing the game the way we've been playing it. It's time to come back to self so you can see the difference. It's time to see the difference for all of us. It's time. And you will. I promise you, you will. And I'm so excited for you. Okay. I love you guys.